Hi guys, it's Christina with Christina's Compassionate Planning, and I'm here today with Dr.
David Purtle.
Yay! With WellMed. WellMed here in Lakeway has just opened, and it's right next to the Brookdale and Loman's Crossing, and we've been given the fortunate opportunity to meet different patients, their different fields, and I wanted to share Dr. Purtle with you today and finding out what is WellMed.
Well, hi. Thanks for allowing me the opportunity to do this. So again, I am Dr. David Purtle. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician. I did my training originally in Corpus Christi, Texas. I also did a fellowship in geriatric medicine. It's not what I thought I was going to get into on there, but it turns out I had some really good teachers, and they really taught me a lot of things about the field that I, wouldn't have otherwise considered. And as it turns out, I really, really loved it. There's a lot of focus in prevention that in the traditional medical world, I feel like gets heavily ignored. There's so many, ailments and conditions and things that we have to deal with on a daily basis that we forget that it's not just the things that we know that are there. It's that snake in the grass that can come out to bite you later, and being able to identify that if it's there, and also seeing what can we do about it. So a little background in residency, actually in the fellowship, we had tried a program to say, what happens if we are taking away from seeing, 24 to 30 patients a day, where we're just kind of that revolving door process, and then narrow it down to about 6 or 7 people in half a day and taking over their care entirely. That means that if they end up going to the hospital, that the ER calls us, then we try to manage there, and did a lot, so on and so forth. I'll spare you a lot of the details, but what we found was that the patients were significantly better taken care of on there, and that was between myself and another fellow. In fact, there was only 2 of us at the time. So it was really insightful to see it. And then I discovered that there was already a place that was doing this. And they had been doing it at that time for about 21 years before I even started my residency. So, and that, of course, was WellMed. And the idea was to take that model of medicine that we had and change it into something that was better for the patient on there. And that means more time with the patient, more focus on preventative measures. And it's really been a wonderful experience. I started at the San Antonio location, actually in the clinic that really began everything that WellMed was doing. Learned a lot from a lot of different docs and PAs and all the providers that have been there, different styles and different ways that have been doing it for years, to really model the way that I would like to do it myself in my own way of practicing medicine within the system. And then I had the opportunity to actually start a brand new clinic from the ground up here in Lakeway, Texas, just outside of Austin, and show individuals that have never had this kind of healthcare experience before what we're really all about. So I'm now entering my 3rd year of doing that, and in fact my 5th year in being with WellMed here. And it's really been a fantastic journey. We have been growing as more people realize what we're doing and what we're all about. And so that part has been very exciting. But the most exciting part is being able to really care for people in the way that I would want to. One of the more frustrating things I hear from a lot of my colleagues that aren't in a system like this is that they don't feel that they have the time that they need to be able to care for the patients, and that there's a lot of extraneous focus on things that they don't feel like are improving health. And in fact, all our objectives are really aimed and targeted at helping people live better and healthier lives. And this isn't just words. So there was a study that was done on this in San Antonio. Are you aware of this? No. So I believe that it showed that individuals specifically with the WellMed system and what WellMed does lived about 2 years longer. On average. So there's some data behind what we're saying to back up what we're doing and why it's so important about what we do.
And so what I kind of hear you saying is like what you do is help specialize in geriatric care for that specific need of that one person and stay with them along the way and help monitor what's going on as far as their wellness and health. Is that kind of, and that way it specializes, and they're not going from one doctor to another doctor to another doctor to another doctor and then back to the doctor and looking for this and this and this. With your expertise, you're able to kind of look at the different spectrums and put it all together and be there along the way with them, is what I kind of hear you saying what WellMed does.
Well, what we want to do is be able to practice at what we call the top of our license.
Okay.
That means to be able to take care of everything that we can safely do in one setting.
Got it.
And be able to have that home base for each patient to come back to. So if you need to see a cardiologist or lung doctor or a gastroenterologist, that's the colon doctor that would do some screenings like the infamous colonoscopy you hear about, you can still do that. And the other benefit is that we establish those relationships with those physicians here. And so we actually pick the physicians that have provided the better care.
Right.
Consistently provided the better care for patients, and also treat our patients like human beings, right? You hear, well, they barely talk to me. They were down on their computer. We don't want that. We don't want that here, and we don't want that when our guys go to different places.
Yeah, and that's what I get a feel for here. Being at WellMed, not only do they have certain specialists and specific doctors for your needs, but then they also have senior centers available at certain locations, where I've been to the senior centers, and they do all sorts of activities, exercises, conferences, seminars, because they want to bring out resources for these seniors so they don't feel isolated. They're protected mentally, physically, emotionally, and surrounded by people that want to help and want to love on our aging community. So awesome. So do you have anything else that you'd like to throw out there for WellMed fans and people in the senior community that need to know a little bit more about WellMed?
I would say that the best way to find out what we do is to really come and experience it yourself. So if this is something that sounds like maybe you want to try and see if it's for you, then come by, see our facility, see what we have to offer. We have a lot of things that we try to make more convenient for you. For example, at this location we have on-site screening, including screening for neuropathy, for blood, which is nerve damage, screening for blood vessel diseases, and all the tools to do that. But we also have an on-site lab, so that you don't have to go to an outside lab to be able to do that. If you are not geriatric, so essentially we focus on Medicare and Medicare Advantage, meaning that the majority of individuals that come here would be 65 and above on there. If you're not in that group, but maybe you're coming close to it, you want to think about what do they offer that would be different for me than I'm getting now, come check it out, ask questions. They'll be happy to pull me out of the office to come talk to you. I'd love to do that.
As we did now.
Yes, because the idea is for you to be able to also see and meet me and say, is this going to be compatible for what I'm looking for? And if it's a parent or a grandparent, well, then I would encourage you to also come by and see what else we can do. Because the real philosophy of what I'm trying to do here is to say, as a surgery attending once told me, treat everybody in the way that you would want your mother or father to be treated.
That's right.
And as another attending said, if you would want your own mother or father to be treated there, then that's the highest honor that you can give a person. So I would say, come by and see if this is something that you would feel comfortable with. We really do the best that we can for our patients, and it is a very patient-centered practice. So the walls that you see, they're all up for you guys, and well, like I say, it's all words until you come by and check it out.
Excellent. And I've been to several WellMeds, so I do stand by them and know that they do a great job, and they're out in the community helping out our senior community. So thanks again, and have a very blessed day. Christina with Christina's Compassionate Planning, and Dr. Purtle.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.